So welcome to Cheeseland, Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And today was a beautiful day of IndyCar racing. It started at 11:50-ish p.m. local time. It wasn't even noon, it was before noon. That was fantastic. Look at this beautiful sun and all this time to get back to Indianapolis. But this race was awesome. Awesome crowd, awesome track. You know, Elkhart Lake, Road America, showcases IndyCar racing at its best. Well, and today, sometimes it's worst. Today's action really started in the Indy Lights race. We weren't really sure it was actually going to start on time because of this crash by Christian Bogle, in which the car got up over the top of a curb, flew into the air, and then into the catch fence. It tore down a significant section of the catch fence, but thankfully, and a great job, I have to say, by Road America and IndyCar officials to get that catch fence back up and allowing the race to essentially start on time. So, since there are radicals on the track, you can't hear them yet, but you'll definitely be hearing them before the end of this video. Let's take a look at the results for this race, and then I will talk a little bit more in detail about what went down. So Joseph Newgarden gets the victory after starting second for car number 2. Redemption from last year, in which a mechanical failure took Newgarden out when it looked like victory was assured. Marcus Ericsson, the Indianapolis 500 winner, started fourth and finished second. It was a late race pass of Alexander Rossi on a late restart that got him that position. Ericsson had a bit of controversy today with contact with his teammate Alex Palou. Palou, none too happy. Alexander Rossi started on the pole but only could get to third place. Pit stops were the problem for Alexander Rossi, and that's what made the difference, got Joseph Newgarden out in front, and then of course the restart didn't help either. Romain Grosjean, a fantastic fourth place finish on a track he describes as America's Spa-Francorchamps. Colton Herta actually got a 6th place grid spot penalty for changing an engine at the Indianapolis 500, but it didn't come into effect until Honda confirmed that they could no longer fix the engine that he flipped over in on Carb Day. Very strange situation. Felix Rosenquist, who you will hear from later on in this video, was kind of the show. He went off strategy, ended up coming home 6th after a massive fuel save. Scott McLaughlin in 7th, a quiet day for him. Graham Rahal was also on that Rosenquist strategy and pulls a top 10 out. Finally, a good result for the Rahal team. And Scott Dixon in P9, he started 9th for car 9. Christian Lundgaard, speaking of good results for Rahal, P10, another track that's very similar to his European background, or familiar to his European background. Callum Ilott, coming off an injury, scores an 11th place finish, up from 1 spot from his starting position of 12th. Simon Pagenaud had a very exciting day. You'll hear from him later on in this video. He got P12. Jack Harvey slotting in on the lucky 13th position. Connor Daly in 14th. Takuma Sato in 15th. And he had some amazing battles with David Malukas, his teammate, who you will hear from later on in this video. Rinus VK, a disappointing 17th spot. Davlin DeFrancesco certainly got some attention today, and none other than Will Power was one of the guys who really got it when Francesco made contact with Power. Power got into the wall. Ultimately, Power in 19th position. Power also had some words with Kyle Kirkwood, who finished in the 20th spot. Simona Di Silvestro is another driver you'll hear from. She finished 21st in her return to road course racing and her first time at Road America since 2008 in an Atlantic car. Elio Castroneves spun out on the penultimate restart of the day and finished 22nd. Dalton Kellett in 23rd. Jimmy Johnson brought out the first yellow on the first lap. He finished 24th. Tatiana Calderon in 25th, the last car running. Pato O'Ward had a mechanical failure, finished 26th, or at least slotted into 26th. And Alex Palou broke his suspension very early on after contact with the 2nd place running Marcus Ericsson, and retired the car with 10 laps to go because he was 10 laps down. So certainly great news for Joseph Newgarden. It's weird, he's been hit and miss this year in some ways, or maybe I'm just thinking specifically about the Indianapolis 500. I tend to do that because he's been so strong at points this year, and today was no exception to that. And for him to get that win, get that redemption, fantastic all around. I mean, he looked so quick. Going into this race, I kind of thought that Rossi was going to kind of really be back to the old form of dominance. And I think had his pit stops been a little bit better, he would have been. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the contact between Will Power and Devlin DeFrancesco. Now, I thought it was going to be a fight after the race, and unfortunately for me, there was no fight. But yeah, certainly I don't really know why that happened, and definitely not a good look for Mr. Devlin. I like him. I like Devlin, but man, that's a tough scene when you spin out a champion like that and have a kind of crash, especially after you saw what happened with Christian Bogle in that same corner earlier. That was a very dangerous thing to do, and rightfully got a penalty for it. But unfortunately, kind of like these radicals in the background, I don't know if it was doing much for me. So before these radicals caused a lot more audio distortion, let's listen to what a few of those drivers who participated in the race had to say today.
It was more than lawn mowing. That was like rodeo style. Yeah, I mean, I lost. I was really loose all day, extremely loose, very difficult to keep the car where I wanted, and lost it in the kink several times today. One time I couldn't catch it, so super fortunate. I think Jesus helped me. Got the car back on track. Did all I could, was instinct driving in the grass, but yeah, that was a hairy moment for sure.
What about the rest of the race? I mean, obviously you were dealing with a loose car. How was that? How was dealing with that for the whole race?
Yeah, it was very difficult for us to hold on to the tires for the entire stint. Very, very loose. It's not my preferred balance for a race, but it is what it is. We learn. We go from here, and we understand. We'll understand what happened. We're suspicious of a few things, maybe mechanical, that we need to check. There's no reason why the car went so loose all of a sudden. We were so happy in the warm-up yesterday, so we'll see. Sometimes these races happen. It's what it is. There's always one of those in the championship.
No, it was an amazing race. Unfortunately, I messed up the pit stop on entry. We have this nice pit entry, nice and big, so I'm coming in all hot, thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get maximum speed here. And then Grosjean came out of his pit box. I got spooked, and then just froze and ended up blocking up. So unfortunately, that was bad, but it put us in a position of a lot of racing. And the yellow at the end there, I mean, wow. And Takuma was with me the whole time, so it was kind of like, yeah, I'm racing. Oh, and then I see like a purple car, and I'm like, okay, I need to be nice to him. I don't want to mess his race up. So we did a really good job, me and Takuma, everybody around us. That's, I think, what makes IndyCar so special. All the drivers are so good, so it's like, I know that I can race and be confident to make a move, and we're both going to come out clean.
So what's it like to drive an IndyCar here?
It's a lot of fun, with these straights and push-it-pass, you get the run going, and then you get excited and all the nerves coming in, and you make the move in one, and then, oh man, I absolutely love Road America. It never disappoints, and I was so interested to see what IndyCar would feel like here, and it was everything I dreamed it to be.
Yeah, it was really crazy, to be honest. The whole weekend, first of all, getting back in an IndyCar after 7 years, it's definitely felt really quick and really fast, out there, and I think my brain, it just took a while to adjust to it again. And yeah, I haven't raced here since 2008 in an Atlantic car, so it's quite a long time to be honest. I wish it wasn't that long, but at the end of the day, I'm super happy to be back, and I think the race went quite well, for being the first race back. So yeah, big thanks to the team just to really kind of putting this together, Beth, to put it together, and for me to be able to be back on this grid.
You've got 2 more races this year. What was the biggest takeaway from today?
Yeah, I think, the biggest takeaway was really important to finish those 55 laps, because I think until then I hadn't even done 50 laps or something like that. So it was really good to get in the racing groove again. The racing in IndyCar, I think, is awesome. So I really enjoy myself out there. And, now we just hopefully when I get back in the car, it will all feel a bit more natural, and I think that would be really positive.
Initially, not great. When we came in, I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty much a Formula E kind of race, like it's going to be all about fuel saving. And we know here, even if it was a lot of yellows in the beginning, there's normally not a lot, like once the race gets going here, there's normally not a lot of yellows. So I knew it was going to be like every lap, every corner, just trying to save as much fuel as possible. And once we were into the first stint, I was like, man, it's going pretty well. Like we're not really slow, but actually actually kind of quick, even with that fuel. I mean, there was a massive fuel saving. This is like the worst track for fuel saving as well, because of just the layout, how it's shaped. So yeah, I mean, I think that was a great finish with something that looked kind of grim initially.
What are some of the ways a driver can fuel save on a track like this? Like you say, it's so difficult. What can you do?
I mean, obviously you have a fuel map you can change, which gives you a couple of percentage for free. You can lift and coast is a huge deal. I mean, I was lifting like even earlier than the 500 board into like every big braking corner, and then you can make sure you carry speed so you don't have to be on power as early. Yeah, there's a couple of tricks here and there, but they all add up, and you can actually, it's surprising how quick you can go doing it. And yeah, I'm kind of happy we went on that strategy. It was fun. Like, I had no idea we were going to do that going into the race, and there we are, like boom. Like, it doesn't feel like you're going quick, but man, we were leading a race at the time, and we didn't really have anything. We didn't really have anything against the leading guys, because they were like rich mixture and just pushing, and I couldn't keep them behind. I was gonna run out of fuel, but yeah, I mean, I think we maybe had a P4 in it if the restart went a bit better. So pretty good day.
So like I said, it was a great weekend overall. Great crowd, great people here in Wisconsin. I would almost hazard to say maybe we should race here twice a year. Maybe not Road America, maybe a mile oval somewhere, maybe like 50, 60 miles away. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. Hint, hint. But yeah, no, it was a great weekend, fun race. Thankfully safe, even though we saw some pretty spectacular crashes throughout the weekend. But yeah, couple week break, which is fine with me, even though there won't be as much break for me. I'm still planning on going to the 6 hours of Watkins Glen for IMSA. I know all of you who really like my IMSA coverage will appreciate that. So, as the Radicals go by again, I bid you adieu. Also, I have to shout out the Vincent family, all the Aero McLaren SP crew from Wisconsin, and Mom Vincent. And I think there's a few more people. I think I have to shout out the Detroit Police Department too, because I ran into some of the officers that I forgot to give a shout out to at Detroit. So shout out to you guys. Hope you're watching. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for watching. All the people who came up to me this weekend. I mean, seriously. I feel so lucky and blessed to be in this position, so thank you guys, honestly. And I can't wait to keep going on. So as the Radicals serenade us off, thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.